Hi, my name is Cameron Horner, and in August of 2011, when I was 18 years old, I had a diving accident on family vacation. I dove into shallow water, I broke my neck, and it left me paralyzed from the chest down. After a miraculous rescue under the water, where the Lord sustained my life through a miracle, after my friend that was a former lifeguard found me under the water, after being dragged back to shore and my family coming around me and praying, and after going to the hospital and going through 18 hours of surgery, after being in an ICU room with tubes down my throat, not able to talk, but yet the joy of the Lord and the presence of the Lord so thick that you couldn't help but smile. After going to Atlanta, Georgia for 4 months of therapy where I learned to live again from a wheelchair. After all these things, God has been faithful in the midst of what seemed to be tragedy, what seemed to be the greatest storm. He's been faithful not only to get me and the rest of my family through this, but to get us through it with great joy. And now on the other side, I have been given open doors to travel and share my story, but not just my story, but the testimony and witness of how good God is to those of us who go through suffering. So now I travel, I share my story, I preach the Word of God, and I share really about the miracle of God preparing me before this happened with a relationship so I would have a stability in the storm. What He did to get me through that exact moment when I actually broke my neck, but also what He does day in and day out through therapy and then through just living life now that I'm on the other side of this thing, having to deal with life from a wheelchair. So now my heart is to share with congregations, other believers, schools, wherever it is that God puts me, to share not only the hope that gets us through every single day, but how that hope actually does help somebody. Not that the gospel is just a good news or just a message, but it has weight to it that can actually give us joy in the midst of the things that we go through. There is always trial, there is always suffering, there is always hard things that the human being has to face. But I want to share how we can get through these things, how we can have a relationship with our God, and how the promises of God, which are so stable, that He is so faithful to, can and do give us a foundation for the storm of life that may come. So God bless. Thank you for coming to the website.